Hi there, and welcome to this month's Marketing Pop-Up with your friends at Whole Growth Partners. I'm Libby Klapir-Schmitz, our Creative Director. And today we will be talking about materials that matter, how to use effective marketing materials to move prospects through your funnel. Now you'll notice a QR code at the bottom of your screen. If you have any questions during today's pop-up, go ahead and give that a scan and someone from our team will be in touch with you shortly. Now let's get started. First, you may be wondering, well, why does this matter? I've been using the same marketing materials for years. I don't seem to notice a difference. Well, when done correctly, your marketing materials can have three major purposes. First, they help establish relevance within your target market and can highlight why you are the firm of choice. It also helps establish credibility. Sophisticated marketing materials demonstrate that you are qualified to be trusted with your prospects' most valuable possessions. It also provides the opportunity to share insights into your expertise for their specific lifestyle. And lastly, good marketing materials help move prospects through your sales cycle. The easier it is to take a next step, the more likely they are to do so. However, we so often hear firms say that they have spent all this time and energy creating marketing materials, but they just aren't effective and they don't get used. In fact, 65% of marketing content never gets used in practice. Why is that? It's because most of the time, materials are created simply because someone thinks they need to be doing marketing, or it's what they should be doing. That's why we say stop marketing for marketing's sake. Do not spend the time and resources creating something because you heard someone else is doing it, or it seems like something you should have. Instead, ensure it serves a purpose and helps move someone through your funnel. Maybe that is a capabilities deck that helps move someone to consideration to conversion, or a newsletter that helps move a client from conversion to loyalty and advocacy. Regardless of what it is, it should point back to one of these transitions. With that in mind, let's discuss how to determine what will be effective when creating these materials and moving someone through the funnel. There are three things we need to get right for your marketing materials to be effective. First is the content. You need to include copy that establishes relevancy and creates credibility without using overly complex, jargony language. Second, the design needs to represent your brand and exude the tone that you are trying to communicate. Design and imagery play a major role in that feeling that a prospect gets when they're learning more about you. And as we know, that emotion of this just feels like the right decision is so important when it comes to client acquisition. And lastly is the channel. You can make the best print brochure in the whole world, but if your target market is millennial tech executives who prefer digital communication, it's likely that no one will care to read it. So how do we ensure that we get these principles right? Start by stepping back and reviewing the needs of your ideal client. Take into consideration their career, their families, hobbies, age, and everything that could impact their decision making. Try to really get inside of their heads and ask, what is keeping them up at night? What unique challenges do they face? And how do they prefer to receive communication? This insight will help ensure your content addresses their biggest needs and stressors and that you communicate it in a way that is well received. For example, maybe your ideal client is a physician who's stressed out about student loans and what will happen to their family if they're no longer able to continue practicing. Maybe you create a digital checklist that helps outline everything they need to safeguard their family for the future. Really understanding who you are speaking to will help create content that stands out and actually gets used by the intended recipient. Next, map out your entire sales process from beginning to end, including the marketing materials that are currently being used, and find any pain points or opportunities to share more about you and your brand. Do you notice any points where prospects typically drop off? Is it easy for them to schedule time with you and continue taking the next steps, or does it require more facilitation? And most importantly, does the entire team follow the same process? If your current materials don't have a home within this process, for all of the team members, they are likely either not necessary or leaving a gap that needs remedied. And if there is not a set process of how and when to use these materials throughout the sales cycle, they will likely sit in a folder and become forgotten about. And last but not least, interview your top clients. This is one of our favorite ways to learn firsthand what is top of mind and how we can communicate better. Set up some time with 3 to 5 of your favorite clients and ask them questions like, what influenced your decision to work with our firm? What additional information would have been helpful? And how do you consume media and other information? This is priceless information that can help you determine what materials are working and what might need some work. To help you get started with creating more effective marketing, we created a marketing materials evaluation that asks some of these questions discussed today and other helpful thought starters. This is a great tool if you are trying to decide if you should develop a new material or are evaluating one you are already using. Go ahead and scan the QR code or use the link in the description below to download your complimentary copy. And that's it for this month. If you have any questions about what we discussed today, go ahead and give that QR code a scan or reach out to us at team@wholegrowthpartners.com. Thanks so much for joining us. We'll see you next month.